When you're making characters, are you often like hearing the voices of like your relatives when you're writing the characters?
Sometimes, yeah. Certainly for the first one. They all thought they were all over it, but they were actually very happy about it. But I was nervous when I was writing it that I would offend somebody.
Right. I think most writers, especially like people who write nonfiction, but also fiction, it's like you're trying to represent your community, your family, the people closest to your heart. You want them to seem like real people.
Yes.
But you don't want to make them look horrible
Right.
or flat.
I'm Maurice Ruffin. I am from Louisiana.
Author of the novel The American Daughters, published in 2024. And the PEN American Open Book Prize, We Cast a Shadow, was also a New York Times Editor's Choice. Ruffin's second book, the story collection The Ones Who Don't Say They Love You, was published in 2021.
I've heard writers like Philip Roth talk about it. Sometimes your characters are smarter than you are.
As long as he'd been in that city, he'd never felt like he truly belonged.
Winner of the Ernest J. Gaines Award for Literary Excellence and the Hurston Wright Legacy Award for debut fiction for her first novel, The Talented Ribkins. In her new novel, The Rib King, we meet the paterfamilias of the Ribkins.
You situate your characters in a different period of American history.
What was your initial inspiration for The Last Suspicious Holdout?
My reaction to Obama's election.
Your name,
Oh,
where'd it come from?
it's apocryphal. I don't know because my family is so crazy.
Yours too. So the goal is to write things that are for my community so that when they see it, they see themselves.
Writing is very important to me. It's always been really personal. And honestly, at a certain point, it was like, you're literally not going to have time to do this.
Hi.
How's it going? Hello.
Good. Yeah.
No pressure.
Okay.
No pressure at all. So you know I admire your work so much, right?
That's nice.
It's
That's
a real
nice.
thing. It's a real thing.
Well, I appreciate that.
You have 3 books out.
Yeah.
So, like a general question, like seriously, how does it feel to be somebody who, I don't know, 2016 had 0 books,
Yeah.
and now 2024 you have these 3 amazing books that people are reading all around the world.
That's nice way to put it, but no, I don't know. It's amazing to me to have 3 books out, right? In that amount of time, because it was all like hypothetical, like being a writer, even though I wrote all the time, but it was just like something I did in the back room, or like people didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, it's weird. It's a good feeling.
Well, what were you like as a kid, as a reader? Like, were you the kind of kid who like, I got to get to the library, I got to buy some books, Ma, give me something to read? Or were you kind of like, books, I don't know about all that.
No, I read all the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't even know how to. I read so many books. I read, yeah.
You read all the books probably, like every single book ever written. Probably.
Not every, but I read a lot of different kinds. Like I would
Yeah.
go through phases where I was like really intensely interested in certain kind of.
Where'd they come from? Was it like your mom giving it to you, or were you like getting your own books?
I was getting my own.
Just getting your own books.
Yeah.
How'd you get?
I don't know. I would just from a library, and some of my requests were very strange.
Yeah?
She thought, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, I had some strange requests too. So
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I must have maybe heard about them or just a name that I thought was interesting. And I don't even know. I remember reading like Baudelaire, and I was like in the 8th
that's
grade.
a name though. That's a name.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, what is a Baudelaire? That's what you think when you see that.
Right. And
I had a
maybe
similar
did.
experience. I used to volunteer at the main library on Loyola here in New Orleans. And I remember seeing like the name John Updike. And I'm like, that's a real name. It sounded made up.
Right.
So I just pulled it off the shelf. I think it was the collection about like relationships. And I'm just like flipping through it and thinking, oh, there's a lot of words in there. I want to get to this at some point.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I was probably 14, 15 years old. And so I remember like getting like the Kinsey Institute books. So I didn't know anything. Yes.
Right.
So like, how can you find information when like your parents, they don't want to talk about it?
Right.
The schools are kind of teaching stuff, but not very much.
Yeah.
And they just pick up being like, oh, everything's just laid out so cleanly, like clinically.
Right.
There's nothing salacious about those books.
Right. That's actually literally kind of what I meant when I said it's like the librarian to be like, why are you? I don't know. I'm curious. I want to know what it is.
We want to know things.
Did you read a lot? So you read a lot as well.
I read a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, since I was a little kid. I mean, I was the kind of kid where like my mom would give me $10 for the school's book fair, And the books were like $1 a piece. So I'd buy, as many as I possibly could, plus my all those savings, and everything from like the Guinness Book of World Records to like the Garfield anthologies of comic strips.
Yeah.
To, like literature like Maya Angelou and that kind of stuff. And just wanting to know everything. Like, what is the
Yeah.
world like?
Yeah.
So when you're small, you don't know what the world's like.
You don't know what the word. And it's interesting too, because I feel like I didn't have a lot of guidance, which might
Yes.
have been why it was so, which I appreciate now.
Yeah.
Because it was so kind of random, like the
Yeah.
things I was literally like what you're talking about. But yeah, not things that I was assigned
Right.
to read. I don't really even remember the things I was actually assigned to read.
Well, like when you were in, say, middle school and the teacher would assign a book, did you like just devour it, or were you kind of resistant to what they would assign?
I don't see what I'm saying. It's sad. I remember, I just mentioned Baudelaire. I don't remember what
Yeah.
I was this. I was in St. Thomas then too.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was St. Thomas like? How long were you in St. Thomas?
From 9 to like 15. So my mother was the public defender. She was a public defender. So we moved from Oakland to the Virgin
I've
Islands.
known you all these years. I did not know.
Oh, you
this.
didn't know that?
I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I've only been there like once. I think on my honeymoon,
Oh,
we
did
took a
you?
cruise,
Oh.
and it's a total scam. You know, it's like the ship pulls up and you get off. You like buy some jewelry from like some people on the shore, and then you eat something.
I remember the
It
other
was-
side of that.
It was not nice. Yeah.
Where did you go?
I mean, I couldn't even tell you where it was. That's
It was an island though.
It
It
was
was the
definitely
Virgin
an
Islands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like whatever that big port is that's there,
Yeah.
you know, with the big
I
carnival.
I know when
ship
I
pulls
lived
up.
there because it was so long ago. The people. This might not actually be true. People say the population would double when
Yeah.
cruise ships came in.
Of course.
Just so many tourists coming in,
Of
and
course.
then they'd leave again at a certain time.
It
So,
helped me see New Orleans a little bit better because I realized what it's like to be from like a tourist place.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of outside gaze versus like your internal experience. Of it.
Yeah.
And I think like my parents, we probably took like 3 trips to the islands. Then I did one when I got married on this like 8-island cruise. But as I got older, I kind of started feeling guilty of it.
Did
I
you?
felt like an interloper. Like, all right, I should be going here like this, like to be in the community, hanging out, having conversations, eating food with people, you know, just being there versus hop off the ship, buy like a necklace,
Right.
hop on the ship, you know, goodbye.
Yeah.
And it changed how I saw New Orleans, I think, a little bit.
I
Sort of.
can see that. I think it changed it. The experience of it changed how when I go to different places, like
Yeah.
what I think about what's going on
Yeah.
and interacting with people, or especially when people are smiling a lot. Like I
Exactly.
think about that stuff. And it was actually probably a bit weirder in terms of feeling like an outsider because I was African American.
Mhm.
I'm not West Indian.
Mhm.
So, and that's like very young still. So most people just assumed I was
Mhm.
at the time, but it actually means something in different places.
It really does mean something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did your mama like practice like her arguments in front of you or like just into the mirror or something like that?
Did she practice her argument? She argued a lot.
Yeah.
You knew she was a lawyer though, right?
I think I vaguely knew that. But
Ah.
definitely not a public defender, definitely not in the islands.
Yeah. No, there's a ton of lawyers in my family.
Okay.
So my uncles, her younger brother is a judge, and then my brother's a lawyer. And she's a lawyer. She practiced in front of me in the sense that that's her personality.
Oh, wait, what happened to you? Like,
Kinda
what-
always
Like, why are you not a lawyer? What happened?
I don't know. I'm very she's like, and she's very she will say lawyers go to trial. Real lawyers go to trial. So
Mhm.
I'm not extroverted in the way that she is.
Mhm.
She's like an advocate. That's like her
Yeah.
personality.
Right.
So she
Take
has
on
a-
the case, go
yes.
argue in front of the judge.
And she has a very strong personality.
See,
because of that.
lawyers who go to court always say that a lot. You know, real lawyers go to court
Isn't
and
that
argue.
funny?
But the vast
Yeah.
majority of lawyers, I learned this in law school. I think the Professor Norman, when I was at Loyola here in New Orleans, he said like 3% actually go to like trial.
Right.
And that was back then, and it's decreased since then. So what I came to learn as a former corporate lawyer myself is that the vast majority of lawyers are kind of like managers.
Right.
You sit at a desk, papers come in, you sign them, revise them, you send them back out. And that's one of the reasons why I got tired of it. Because I was like,
Right.
put me in front of me. I want to have a conversation.
Did you ever do
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, many times. I mean, I would have, like, hearings were kind of like a once a month thing. You go to the court, you have to argue some brief or something like that with opposing counsel. And then maybe once a year, like an actual trial,
Right.
give or take.
I could see you being very good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is when you're good at something and then somebody you do that you love is better at it. So, like,
Huh.
my wife is also a lawyer.
Right. Right.
And so we're high school sweethearts. This is actually our 30th anniversary.
That's
We know each other
amazing.
since we met each other. And I'll go see her do speech and debate in high school. just be like blown away by like her skills to be extemporaneous and just move on her feet. And so when I would go to court, I'd be like, well, how would she do this? Like, what would she say? How would she defend? Or how would she attack? And even to this day, I'll go see her in court like a couple months ago and be like, she's still doing it. I can't predict her movements, which to me is very interesting.
That's beautiful.
It really is. I love it so much. But you were going to tell me about like maybe your mother like making arguments or your aunties making arguments. Like, how did it sound to you? Like making just arguing at you about cases or just in life? You know, chicken's better than steak or something like that.
Oh, they're funny. I think from my grandmother, definitely my grandmother. I come from a family. Oh, there's a lot of really loud women in my family and a lot of really quiet men in our family.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that funny to you? I see you smiling about it.
No, because they're funny when, like, I don't mind loud women. I don't mind abrasive.
Yeah.
Especially older Black women. I don't mind. I mean, that's
they're the
just
best.
it feels very nurturing to me. Do you know? But yeah, that's pretty much, they argue a lot. But it's often very funny. Yeah. Because they're also very smart. So it's just, but you know, they'll go off on crazy.
You got all these amazing books. So
we have the same number of books.
But I'm just saying, I feel you were just cranking a book out every year for a period. It's just like, how was she?
No,
I remember sitting in my house being like, how she have another book like 18 months later? And they always amazing books too on top of that.
That's very nice of you, Maurice.
True story.
I'm a big fan of yours as well. Yeah.
What I wanted to ask about that is like, when you're making characters, are you often like hearing the voices of like your relatives when you're writing the characters?
Sometimes, yeah. 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 Certainly for the first one, because a lot of it was about my grandfather. And so definitely I heard it to the point where I thought they would recognize themselves and be annoyed with me.
Did they?
They all thought they were all over it, but they were actually very happy about it. But I was nervous when I was writing it that I would offend somebody.
Right.
So.
But you wouldn't want to do that. But then again, you could always just argue with them and they'll just.
I don't want to. I'm not trying to offend anybody, do you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, they just seem pleased that they were represented at all. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think about this sometimes. Like, I think most writers, especially like people who write nonfiction, but also fiction, it's like you're trying to represent your community, your family, people closest to your heart. You want them to seem like real people.
Yes.
But you don't want to make them look horrible or flat.
Yes.
And I think, especially as newer writers, like that first book, you're like, well, what can you do to not make the people seem like they're, the bad guys or evil or just wrong in some way?
Yes, I think. Well, I do know some wrong people. I think so, but it to me, what I would say, because this is true, I think that I want to respect their complexity.
Yes, that's the thing.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So the not flattening is really something I try very hard not to avoid. But you don't know what people will make of that. Necessarily. So, but that's how I thought about it.
I remember when I was in grad school at UNO, and I was in a nonfiction class. Professor Randy Bates, a wonderful dude. Looks kind of like John Denver.
Yeah.
With the sort of bowl cut. Very cool person. Very sweet man. And I remember I turned in an essay, and it was like a humorous essay. It was just one of those things where it's like, we had a mouse in our house, and I was tasked by my wife to catch the mouse. And I'm not a very handy person for the most part. And so, long story short, I catch the mouse, and I like made like a garbage can mouse trap because he was in our pantry. So I like put peanut butter on a cracker. I didn't want to kill him. And so I put peanut butter on a cracker, like on a ledge in the cabinet. And then I caught him. He fell into the garbage can. He was trying to get to the peanut butter on the cracker, right? But then I came into the closet and he hopped out because he was really strong. He just hopped out and ran off. I'm like, okay, take two. So the next night I did the same thing, but I put a little bit of vegetable oil on the walls of the garbage can. So he tried to hop out. He couldn't hop out. I'm like, good job. You didn't hurt the mouse, right? I put it in the back of my car. It was a Volkswagen, not a Volkswagen. It was a Saab. Put it in the back seat, clipped the seatbelt around the garbage can so it wouldn't fall over while he's in the back seat of the car. Drove to the lakefront by Lakeshore Drive. Brought the garbage can out of the car. I'm like, all right, mouse, you're free to go. So I knew that if a mouse is released within a mile of your house, it could find its way back. I learned this online. Yeah, this is a real thing.
That's amazing.
They don't be scared. So I'm like, get it out of that 1 mile radius, this be fine.
Wow.
And so I brought it to the lakefront, emptied it out of the car, mouse goes running across, and of course, what happens? A bird comes down and grabs it. And so I just wrote this as an essay, and I turned that essay into the class. My classmates loved it; they thought it was funny as hell, But Professor Randy was like, "You're not being real with me. You're not being deep or honest." And I'm like, "What I got to do?" And so I'm telling this because I went back and I was like, "What can I write that's going to be a realistic thing about my family?" And I wrote an essay about my mother who had some problems back in the 80s with substance abuse. And we've talked about this publicly. She's okay with it. But I hadn't even thought about it before then. I couldn't even access that place because I love her so much. And we had a period of estrangement for maybe 10 years. We didn't really hang out very much anymore. Today things are great. I see her probably at least once a week, talk to her every single morning, quick phone call, how you doing? But I wrote this essay and I remember writing the essay 3 pages long and thinking, all right, this is what happened. I was at high school. She picks me up to bring me home, but I could tell that she had something in her. I didn't know what it was. And we driving away from the 35, my school, get into a car accident within 5 minutes. And then she drives off with me in the car. I had Popeye's chicken on my lap and it exploded across the car. I mean, speeding across town like some action scene from a movie or something like that. And I'm probably, 12 years old, maybe a little bit older than that, thinking, all right, this is pretty wild. And so when I wrote that essay, I remember thinking, how when we got to a stopping point because somebody had followed us. They wanted to get her license plate and report it to the cops. We get stopped by the Albernaster Bridge off Louisa, and the cops show up. And apparently she knew the cops. Something happened. So she gets out of the car, and, I just looking in the mirror, a little kid thinking that we're in trouble. The cops are here. What's going to happen? And the cops kind of laughed, and they just kind of left. So nothing happened to her. And so I wrote this essay, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm writing this essay, which is a moment in my life that I can't forget because it's such a deep moment for me. And I don't want to disrespect her. And I remember I brought the essay to her as a draft before I turned it into class. I just wanted to say, Mom, what do you think about this? And I'm terrified. I'm thinking that she's going to read this and go, son, this is wrong. You can't do this to me. She's going to hate me or something like that. And she read the essay. I'm sitting there sweating in her bedroom one night. And she finishes. She puts it down. I go, Mom, what'd you think? And she goes, oh, the car we were driving, it wasn't silver, it was blue. And that was her only comment.
Really?
That was her only comment. And so it kind of freed me in a sense, I think. So I think that I achieved this moment of showing the roundness of her where she makes this mistake she should have made, but also she's funny.
Yeah.
And also she's kind of worried in the story a little bit. And I'm thinking, all right, like you said, if you can show the fullness of the person, not make them flat, you'll get some grace for writing those kinds of characters. And ever since then, I think I've been a better writer. If I hadn't tried that, I think I'd still be in this little box of well, don't hurt this one and don't say that and don't, show too much.
Was it important to show it to her too?
It really was. I didn't want to feel like I had to sneak around.
Right.
Because at that same time, literally, this would have been 2010. I'm still a corporate lawyer.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was a secret writer at the time because some of my people I worked with weren't the best people. And I had a sense that they knew I was in grad school. I'm going to night school, basically. They would either harass me or get me fired.
Right.
You're a corporate lawyer. We're paying you all this money. What do you know working on stories? And so I hid that part of myself from them. But you can't hide from your loved ones. You can't hide from your family and your friends. They should be a part of this experience. And so showing it to her was really important to me.
That's really interesting. So you were in night school for creative writing at the time? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you already knew you wanted to be a writer.
Maybe. But the weird thing about that is I often go by instincts, not by logic. And so I applied to grad school at University of New Orleans. And I remember thinking, Maurice, you're a full-time lawyer. You usually work from about 9 to about 7 at night. And I had seen the class list online. The majority of the writing classes were in the daytime between 1 and 5 or something like that.
Right.
I couldn't leave work. I just couldn't leave work. I couldn't quit my job. And there were no part-time lawyers in what I did. So I kept thinking, how are you applying to be a full-time student, a full-time grad student? And then I applied and, the elders always say the Lord provides. So when I applied, somehow the schedule changed that all my classes were after 6 p.m.
Oh.
They were 6, 7, maybe a little bit later than that. There were a few online classes. The first online classes were around that same time period. And so it just all fit into place. And I kept thinking, all right, well, somebody thinks you're doing the right thing by making these choices. And yeah, I think being a writer is really about getting out of your own way. That's a big part of what being a writer is.
I would probably agree. Yes. I think that's probably true. Yes. Probably on many different levels too.
But we were talking before we got started. We were kind of walking over and you were we're talking about like being a mother, for example,
Yeah.
and being somebody who has created lives, is responsible for those lives for a long period of time.
Yes.
I guess the question is, like, how do you deal with the pressure of like trying to be a writer and be a wonderful mother at the same time? Because those two things maybe not always align with each other.
No, they don't. They don't. So, in terms of getting out of your own way, I think that I eventually came to a point where I had to sort of refigure things in my mind as well. And I realized like writing is really important to me. I was like working full time. I have like all these kids, right? But I really, I do never want to like use my kids as an excuse for not pursuing something or feeling like I had to get, because I think in terms of getting in my own way, part of it was I had a really hard time thinking of writing as a career. That took a very long time for me to, do you know?
If it was an excuse for you, like if you had said, well, I have these kids, I really can't write, like what would they have done to you think, if you would have fallen for that?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't survive that.
You couldn't survive.
No. Writing is very important to me. It's always been really personal. And honestly, at a certain point, it was like, you're literally not going to have time to do this. Like ideally, I would just be sitting on my back porch, like writing for hours, right? But literally, you have too many kids. You work full time. You cannot afford to keep doing this. So you need to decide, can you live without it? Or what do you actually have to do?
Oh my goodness.
So that you can keep writing. Like that, I think it really had to come to that for me.
Did you become more efficient as a result?
I don't know, but I started to really think about questions like that. Like if it's like, oh, I had to stop writing because, I have all these kids and they're taking up all my, whatever people tell, that can't be me. That's just not me.
Yeah.
And then also too, I really want them to be the kind of people that if they are passionate and have something that means a lot to them, I want them to pursue it. And even if it's hard, and in some ways, maybe especially if it's hard. So I had to kind of make it important for them to see me try. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Because, we teach. And I will sometimes have students who have, they have a child, they have 3 kids. I had one student have 5 kids.
Wow.
We have these conversations where it's not even like a time thing. It's just like a matter of like, do they have the energy to give to both things at the same time?
Yeah.
And I know I've said to some of these writers, I say, well, I mean, what are you trying to show your kids? Like, do you want to show them a version of you that's taking the chance, this sort of heroic?
You say that to your,
I really do.
Good. That's good. I love that.
Because I mean, otherwise, like, what are you showing them? You
Right.
have to pass on your dreams. You have to make yourself small.
Right.
You have to be quiet and sit down. And then hopefully when their generation comes along, they can live their dreams.
Right.
But how do you show it to them if you're not doing it yourself?
Exactly. No, that's how I feel. So, yeah. So like when I got my MFA or applied for an MFA, I was pregnant with my youngest son.
Really?
Yeah. And they all went up to Wisconsin.
What?
Yeah. I felt, and I felt really crazy. I thought everybody was going to think I was crazy coming up there with like an infant. I think the youngest one was like 4 months old. And then the other 2 were in like middle school and elementary school. And I'm all like, I'm getting an MFA. I want to be a writer, But
that fits my theory that mothers are the best writers.
I don't
No, I'm serious about it because before I started grad school, I had a mentor. I took his class. His name was James Nolan. And he had assigned a book to us called, I think it's like Women Writers Talk or something like that. And so basically it's interviews with writers, just a whole lot of writers, different backgrounds, regions of the country. And one of the things I saw reading that was that maybe half of them had children and many had like many children. And I remember being like the kind of guy being like, I wish I had more time.
Right.
I'm being like, wait a minute, you ain't got no kids. Look at these ladies and how they're doing it.
Right.
And I took to heart this idea that if it's important to you, you're going to find a way.
Yes.
Other things will sort of drop away from you, and you'll be able to focus on what's most important, which of course are the kids and also the writing.
Right.
And you'll make choices that move you along in your sort of writingly path.
And so, and not, it's not like, it's very hard. So I wouldn't be like, But at the
So
same
easy.
time, well, no, it really makes you think about what is important to you in a way that I feel for me was necessary. Do you know what I mean? Because when I was up there too, they'd be like, "Oh, I waste so much time." I'd be like, you know what is really good for that? It's having no time. Literally having no time, and so it's very precious. But I think it kind of when you have to think about it, you do. So for me, that was a big deal. Yeah.
When I learned that Toni Morrison was divorced and had 2 kids when she was getting started, she's this editor up in New York City. And I'm like, she's one of the greatest editors of all time. Like, she could have gotten the whole thing. This is an editor, right? And then she's taking care of these 2 humans who need her because they're so young. And then she transitions over to being a writer as well. And she's still reading her friends' work, like in her writing group, and giving them notes. And, again, I'm so inspired by that. We did a panel earlier, and one of the questions was like, how do you write about the idea of people moving forward in their lives, and how do you do the research? How do you make it all fit together? And I think I said earlier, like this idea of, well, I just saw the women in my life like multitask so much, and me thinking I have it easy, like as a 20-year-old young man, I could just play video games for a while, or read some comics, or go play some basketball. And my mom was like working, a job and a half, and she's cooking. And it took me a while to kind of figure out, well, dude, you could do more with your life. You could actually like have goals and be working on those things at the same time, and be an asset emotionally to people in your life as well. All right, let's imagine I go to extremes all the time.
Okay.
So I'm always thinking like, what's the opposite of what the thing is saying? So if the opposite is you fail to set goals and you fail to find empowerment and you fail to find liberation. So what is that like?
Yeah.
That's somebody who is living in the moment.
Yeah.
Who is not being they're not being retrospective. They're not thinking about the future. They're just doing their thing. And I remember, so I took a trip to Senegal last year. It was with the Black Rock Senegal organization. And when I was there, people were asking about New Orleans because they had never been here. And they're like, what's it like? And so I decided to go on YouTube. It's like, look up New Orleans, like videos. So I showed them some videos of people dancing, like in Congo Square. And they were like, that's our dance. We do the same dances in Senegal. I'm like, wow. I was shocked. I should have known that. I shouldn't be surprised. I showed videos of like people talking, and they're like, oh, interesting accent, because they speak French there, but we have the sort of background of that. But one of the videos I showed that really like shook me up, and I didn't even show them. I was like, I can't show this to them. It was this YouTuber who goes around the country to the worst cities in America, like wherever the violence is the highest. And so they went to my neighborhood, New Orleans East, and they like find young men wherever they are. You start talking to them. And so there's this one dude on there, probably in his early 20s, maybe late 20s, couldn't really tell. And he's like talking to this dude about like his life. Like, what's his life? Like he's slinging, he's dealing or whatever like that. He's like getting into fights and stuff. I think he had probably been in jail in the past. And what got me was that he was so intelligent. Like like the way he broke down his own life and the people in his life and how much love he had for his boys, that kind of stuff. I'm like, something's off here. I can't figure out what's off here. And what happened, I remember thinking, you know what? This dude has never had a chance. He never had somebody to tell him, you know what? You could actually consider your future and make like goals for yourself. But he's like, I need to sell this today to make this amount of money to take care of this person, that person, my mama, my cousins, so-and-so's, and that kind of thing. So saying that to say this, that brother could do anything, but he didn't necessarily think he needed to empower himself or like have like actual life goals.
Right.
So as a writer, what I think is this. You got to know why you're writing first and foremost. I think the mistake that some writers make is they write anything. And I know this because I was one of those people. When I got to grad school, one of the first things I wrote was a story in which there was, I think I thought I was Toni Morrison with, I always say the title wrong, Recitative? How do you say it?
Oh, yeah.
Recitative?
Yeah.
That one, right?
Yeah.
Her novella. And I'm like, I'm going to write this story where there's no race, and there's no geography. So it's sort of like blank characters. I'm writing the story. And I finished it. And then I actually turned it into class because I was so disappointed in myself. I couldn't really figure out what was going on. And then the next few stories I wrote, I wouldn't describe like people's hair or anything like that.
Was it intentional?
I didn't know what I was doing. But now that I look back, I know what was happening. I was under the influence of so many of those writers I found in the library. It's like John Updike, John Cheever, all the Johns, right? Saul Bellow, and I'm thinking, well, they don't like describe the people's hair and like how they talk. Why should I have to? which is an argument I heard people saying. Why should you describe if a character is black or something like that? But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, I love how when sisters see each other, they'll go, go ahead, braids. Like they'll point the hair out and say, your hair looks beautiful. Like with like a sort of phrase that's both a joke and a compliment. Or they'll say, oh, your skin is looking wonderful. What are you using for yourself? So those little things sort of drug me in the opposite path of, Maurice, who are you talking to? If you write a generic story, who is it even for?
Interesting.
As opposed to, I'm from New Orleans.
Right.
We sound a certain way, we look a certain way, we like certain kind of food. You got to put some gumbo in the story at some point.
So you're associating like being specific and vivid.
Absolutely.
With a goal. Like
because that's what universality is.
Yeah.
Is being specific.
I agree.
So the goal is to write things that are for my community so that when they see it, they see themselves.
That's beautiful.
I mean, I would hope it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you do it too.
I know. I do. I do.
You watching any good movies? Like the past 6 months, anything interesting that you liked? Was it Barbie? Tell me it was Barbie.
Oh, gosh. I did see Barbie.
You saw Barbie,
I
okay.
did see Barbie because I have kids. I think they left. They were out there before. Yeah, I saw Barbie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you like anything other than Barbie?
I'm trying to think. The time thing. I haven't been to a movie in a really long time.
It's been a while?
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen American Fiction yet because I know I should see it.
I mean, it's going to be there. It's no rush.
Yeah. I read the book.
I read the book too. That book is seminal text for me. It's really important.
Yes, it is important. So, but I just haven't gotten out.
When you saw Barbie, did you like wear pink when you went?
No, I did not.
No?
No, I did not.
Was it all black?
I don't know what I wore. So no, I didn't dress up for Barbie.
I was teaching last summer at Swanee in Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
And my goal every year, I love movies. So I try and watch, all the big movies. Mm-hmm. And it was a whole Barbenheimer thing. So Barbie and Oppenheimer, right? And it just worked out. I was going to be in town, at home. And I'm like, I'm going to miss all of the cool movies. And so I'm teaching at Swanee in Tennessee. And I'm like, well, I got a little time this afternoon to go see a movie in the next town over. This little Hamlet. It's 1,000 people. And there's like a little 2-screen theater. And I go see Barbie there. I'm sitting in this auditorium with 200 white mamas and their daughters.
Are they all in pink?
They're all in pink. Like pink, tops and skirts and heels. I'm like, well, this is an interesting situation. The milieu is so interesting. But it fits one of my things. I think the best way to watch a film is with the best audience for the film. So they're seeing themselves on the screen the entire time.
Right.
And they're laughing and sighing and crying the entire time. So I had a great experience watching that film, which maybe I wouldn't have otherwise had if I had been somewhere else.
I thought, okay, this is not pink. This is the opposite of pink. No, but there were a lot of articles or stories, or maybe I just read them. I read a little bit about how little girls actually play with Barbie dolls. And I actually never knew how to play with Barbie dolls. Mine would get tortured and their hair cut off. And I thought that was very strange of me. And they're like, no, so many girls apparently don't. It's just what are you supposed to do with this, really? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not an adventure going on or something. She's just kind of there, I guess. And which
she's just standing there in a dress with her hair. And...
Yeah, it is kind of weird. And I was like, so that part of the Barbie movie was the most moving to me. It was kind of discovering.
I really enjoyed that part too.
Strange child.
I think what was it Kate McKinnon played Weird Barbie?
Yes.
And she was
Barbie,
the one
yes.
who had her hair cut off and the weird makeup job.
And I'm the girl that did that.
Because I feel for little boys, what happens, I'm a kid of the 80s. So this is the big time for the toys. I mean, I had, G.I. Joe and Transformers and GoBots and these, the Thundercats. And so for us, it was all right, here's one doll with a gun. Here's a second doll with a sword. Here's their tank. Here's the airplane. So it's obviously be fighting each other.
Right.
That whole Reagan era, good versus evil. And then I have friends, a girl across the street, she had the one Barbie, and we're just sitting what are we going to do with this one Barbie? She just, you can only change her outfit so many times.
That's right.
What else is there?
There's so much else going on. I read a lot of comics, I think, because then sometimes you'd see women doing stuff.
I didn't know you read comics.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a sec. I'm learning so much today talking to you.
Really? You didn't know that?
All right. So what was some of your favorite comics that you read?
Of course, I love the X-Men. Yes, everybody loves. Well, first, come on.
I mean, that's my jam. I mean,
Well, yeah, but then they have like this black woman goddess that flies. It was like,
Monroe, Monroe.
how could you not love that? Yes,
Storm.
yes, and I'm sure that's part. And also the ethos when you're talking about like community and stuff like that. This is my community. I think I was kind of like didn't fully fit in, which as far as I was talking about St. Thomas and being African American. So that's probably part of how I constitute my relationship as well.
The whole X-Men thing where it's a world that kind of hates and fears or doesn't quite understand.
Or just being alienated.
Absolutely.
There's something that's not quite
Was
right.
Storm your favorite?
Yes, of course. As a little girl, yes.
Oh my God, I had a poster because.
Did you really?
So here's another true story.
Okay.
So when I was maybe, this would have been like 11 years old, so like the late 80s, my mother would bring me this little like strip mall in New Orleans East, and she would like go buy hair products. It's a place called Sally's Beauty Supply, whatever. It's still there to this day, right? They're still around. Still around. So next door was this comic book shop called Bookworm or the Bookworm. And so she'd go in there, she'd give me a couple of dollars, whatever, and I'd go in my spot. And so first part of the story is I didn't realize this. My future wife's mom would go to the same store to get her hair stuff.
Oh, wow.
So there's probably some woman of like 10-year-old Maurice, like his future girlfriend / wife.
That's adorable.
Right next door.
That's adorable.
But then the lady who owned the store, she was white and most of the kids were black. This is New Orleans East, right? And so she would always say to us and to our mothers, she's like, look, all the kids who come through here fall in love with reading books. And they almost all go to college at some point.
About the comics.
About the comics.
Yeah.
And that was like the opposite of what you might hear about. It's like, it's not worth reading.
Right.
It's very lightweight.
Right.
And I was very inspired by that. I remember I had a Storm poster. Like they had like these, 30-inch posters, and I had on the back of my door. She's like the Mohawk Storm, like the goddess where like she's flying around with the cape and the silver hair. I was in love with Storm so much. So much. And I had a friend who he was like, so who are we in the comics? He was Storm in his mind.
Okay.
And I was like, well, who am I? And it was a big comment. It's like, you're Colossus. I'm like, Colossus? Why am I Colossus? He's like, you're a big, it's like a externally like tough guy, but inside you have this heart. I'm like,
interesting.
I'll take that.
Interesting.
And those comics were so, I tell everybody who asks, they say like, who's your favorite writers? Obviously we got like Toni Morrison, Baldwin, Wright, Ellison up there. But honestly, I think that writer, Claremont, had the biggest influence on me as a writer. Because he was so good at writing about like people's love for each other.
That's very nice.
And trying to be good to each other and like be a better person.
That's very nice.
I'll be that guy. He's getting a big hug.
Okay.
He's still around. He's like going to conventions around the country.
Were there other ones that you liked as much? Or was
Other comics?
Yeah, comics.
Oh my goodness. So I would feel weird saying this now. I feel less weird today. But probably my second favorite was Captain America.
Oh, really?
Seriously.
Okay.
Because first of all, his comics were always on sale.
Okay.
So like at the store, it's like, 50 cents.
Really?
Like $5.
Why were they always on sale?
Because he was so uncool.
Oh, people that were not into
He's like wearing a flag. He's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy running around.
Yeah.
But to me, he was like Superman minus the powers, which made him cool to me.
That's interesting.
Like he can't like beat up, some giant demon, but he's like, I'm gonna try and do the right thing. He's gonna lose half the time. But he's like trying to be a good person. And I understand like the whole like America jingoistic thing behind that.
Yes.
But then you get to the movies
Right.
with Chris Evans, and now you see why I like this guy so much. When he picks the hammer up, spoiler for the Avengers Endgame, he picks this hammer up. The whole crowd's cheering for this guy because they see in him what I saw in him. This dude was like against all odds, going to fight to his last breath, and that belief in doing the right thing can really carry you to amazing places. So me and Cap, we like this. We always have been.
That's interesting. I think I needed a black woman. I needed. There's so few. There were so few.
And the thing about them, and I'm not trying to be like too critical, but the problem with a lot of the characters were they were created by like white men.
Yeah.
So like even Storm was made by Chris Claremont.
I know.
Then there's were you around for Bishop when he showed up?
No.
Oh my goodness. So maybe the second or third major black X-Men character.
Okay.
It's this brother from the future named Bishop.
Oh.
Dude got a Jerry curl. Now, why is he from the future? It's 1993. You got a Jerry curl. Looking like the dude Eric LaSalle from Coming to America.
Is that character still around?
He's a big deal.
I've seen him.
And one of the questions I had was always like, why were all the black characters like not from the community? Like Storm's from Africa, which is cool. That's cool.
Right.
Black Panther from a fictional Wakanda.
Yes.
Bishop from the future somewhere. And you get these sort of gritty street characters like Luke Cage.
Yes, I remember.
He's like 6'5", made of steel, basically. I'm like, well, okay, it is interesting.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking like, where's us? Like, give me like a New Orleans or like a New York, a Brooklynite or something, or an Oakland, black character. And so, in trying to see myself, it was like, well, I guess I got Cap. I got Colossus, and I got Nightcrawler, and I got this other character over here, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ben Grimm, the Thing. He's the outsider in Fantastic Four.
Right.
Well, who else did you like in the comics?
I don't know. That's what I remember.
That was your one.
That was it. Yeah.
Did you like dress like her sometime? Like you put the cape on and?
No, I was just glad she was there. So, but see, even now it's really funny because I watch a lot of like sci-fi and stuff, and I can't watch them if they're not like people of color in them.
I'm totally with that.
It is funny because it's like a fantasy, but that's the point that that is so. That is not how it is going to happen. Like, as much as people have survived already, what in the world makes you think that like black people are like going to survive a fucking
That's
apocalypse?
what I'm always talking. Look,
Yeah.
I think I remember I tweeted one of my most popular old school tweets was like, I can't go to the past. Like, I don't want a time machine.
Right.
Because they keep erasing us from the past.
Yes.
And then in the future, like, we're going to be around. Like, we were like here from the beginning. We were day one. We were always here.
Who knows how to deal with a crisis?
Exactly.
Who's the clever one that's going to figure out how to like say, is that silly? I just, because sometimes it just defies plausibility. It would think how fantastical it is. That thing is what will get me. I can't.
Oh, like when they cast like a black actor as like a white character. So like, what was it? Halle Berry is Little Mermaid.
Oh,
and
yes. Yeah.
They were like, you can't have a black woman playing little Ariel. It's like, she's a mermaid, bro. Like, what are you talking about? She can be a young black lady. Did you ever see, I think you liked it. Did you ever see the Watchmen TV show?
I did.
Wasn't that something?
Yes, it was.
Wasn't that something?
Yes, it was.
Regina King and your boy playing Dr. Manhattan. Louis Gossett Jr.
Yes.
It's just sort of like first generation superhero.
Yeah. See, that's my favorite. Now I have to tell you, is like a middle-aged black woman kicking ass.
I mean, look, I'm trying to like keep saying, look, there's that scene, I think in the first or second episode where Regina King, she goes home and like they're going to attack her house. She runs to the bedroom because the husband's kind of like, what do we do?
Right.
She goes to the bedroom. She hops in the bed, like flips, grabs like this mantelpiece, pulls it open. There's a shotgun in it. I'm like, that's my grandma right there.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma would do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
She's going to watch out for her family. She ain't going to lay down.
Yeah.
And that the writer was Cord Jefferson. He was the guy that made American Fiction.
Okay.
Just won a
Yes,
Oscar
that's
for
right. Oh
screenplay.
yeah, you were talking about that today too.
Yo, episode 6, when she drinks that reminiscence potion and she could go into her grandfather's memories. To me, that's one of the finest episodes of anything I've seen in my whole life. I was almost crying watching that.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is he doing this?
I really enjoyed that show.
We need more of that kind of stuff.
Yes, I do personally.
I'm with you. I'm with you, fam.
So I enjoyed that. Yes.
You know who I want to see play Storm when the time is right? You ever hear the actress Michaela Cole?
No.
So
not by name.
She has.
Oh no, that's not true.
Yeah.
I know exactly who that is.
What's the name of the show? It's like you may destroy me. I may destroy you.
That's right. No, I know what you're talking about. And then
She had
she
them
had
cheekbones.
yes, and there was another show before that.
Bubble Gum or something
Something
like
like that.
She should play Storm.
That would be awesome.
She has the exact
Yeah.
right face for that.
That would be amazing.
Just take my money. Just burn my money. Dollar cash do with it. Get in my PayPal. I'll transfer the money, wire it over. I want to see her play that
Okay.
for real.
Okay.
So, writers like having conversations. We're also so serious, but like, what do you just like doing? Like, just like for fun. Not even like really hobbies. Just like, just kicking it, trying to think too hard about it.
I don't know. I have 3 kids. I don't know why people ask me what I don't know. I mean,
You
I
just
don't
sit in the
know.
driveway with the radio on.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I like to do a lot of things. I don't know what to. What do you do for fun?
Well, I mentioned movies.
You did. I love movies as well, even though I don't go out and see them as much as I would like to.
I mean, what else I do? I take walks. I used to run a lot more. I still run. I go to the gym sometimes. I find it's great for stress relief.
I do a lot of yoga.
What kind of yoga? Like straight up yoga?
I've been doing hot yoga.
Is that like Bikram yoga?
At Magnolia.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You like that?
It's been actually really helpful for me in terms of writing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like hour-long sessions?
Yeah. Yeah.
How hot does it get in those places?
It gets really hot.
Really?
Yeah. Like I had felt like I was going to pass out at times because it was hot. So hot. I just wasn't used to it. But now it's like I'm very addicted to it. I really enjoy it quite a bit.
All right. So when you go do yoga, what's the mixture of like men versus ladies or whatever.
Oh, you know what? I'd been taking classes there. I was the only woman in the class.
What?
Yeah.
I was so shocked by that.
Yeah. Not, I mean, like individual classes.
Yeah.
Just, I've gone in there on days and it was all men.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You should go.
I've only been like twice in my whole life.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the very first time I did it. It was a friend of mine I used to work with, and she would like get me out of my sort of shell, like whatever, being at home, work too hard. And so she's like, we should go to yoga because we worked in the same office. So we went to this yoga spot. I'll never forget. I was like one of maybe 2 men out of 30 people in the room. And the yoga instructor was kind of making fun of me, which I kind of needed it.
Oh.
She was like, hey, you big guys coming here, you ex-football players, you think you can do all this stuff? You can't even like bend over and touch him. And I was like, she's right.
Yeah.
It's something about that experience that made me rethink my idea about what's important with like fitness.
There's a lot of men that have been in there. I used to kind of dance a lot when I was like much younger.
Like Maya Angelou dancing?
I don't know if it was like Maya Angelou, but it does help me. It does help me a lot. So it's been very good for thinking.
If you could write like a biography or a novel kind of based on a Black literary figure,
a literary figure.
Who would it be? Would it be like Maya Angelou? Would it be Phyllis Wheatley? Tyler Perry? No, I'm just kidding.
It would be someone much more obscure than that I'm interested in.
Who's that?
Okay. So it's the first Black man who published, and I can't remember his name right now, a collection of poetry in the United States in the South.
South?
No.
Okay.
No. He was a slave, and he was affiliated with the University of North Carolina. So I mean, I'm just being honest.
1700s or 1800s?
Oh gosh, that's a good question.
Like, is he like colonial or American?
Oh no, it's American.
Okay.
It was like right after the University of North Carolina was.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I want to see this.
Do you want to see it?
What is it about him that makes you so interested?
Well, it's in part personal because my grandmother's family. So the first president there's like white Caldwells and there's black Caldwells. So we were the black Caldwells. We're the slaves of the first president of the University of North Carolina.
Wow.
So, but I've always been fascinated by his story, that person's story. I can't remember. It's terrible. I can't remember his name right now. But apparently people found out he used to, students would pay him. I, again, have no actual proof that this happens, but people said the students would pay him to recite poems and they would turn them into their classes.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I know, it's not funny.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
But yeah.
Because a lot of times, what I've noticed happen in my lifetime is over and over again, there's some figure from the past. Maybe we know their name, like a Harriet Tubman, or they're obscure. And we kind of learn, they was doing some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So like, it's Harriet Tubman. We knew she was part of the Underground Railroad. She was working to free people. But then we learned along the way, she worked for the government. Like she was getting, she got a pension after she, retired, right? And then we learned about the guy who helped make the whiskey. Right? Was it Jack Daniel?
Yes.
That guy.
Right. And you're not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm like, well, of course this dude.
I didn't know it, but no, that makes sense.
Because, like, the plantation owner, he has the money because he's a slave owner. But he ain't the creative genius behind that.
Right.
That's the brother who was obscured on purpose for, 150 years.
Yeah.
So the idea that this person like reciting these poems and then selling them.
It was 1820s.
1820.
1820.
Right, early. Yeah.
And also too, because I'm very interested in because at that it was I think in the 1830s they passed all those laws. Like if you are Black and reading, it was like 40 lashes.
Of
I don't
course.
remember exactly what it was. You can get if you were Black, you get like I think whipped in a public square for teaching another Black person to read. So I'm very interested in language, like how Black people still there was something I was reading about. I think it might have been a little later. It was a potter.
Yeah.
And he worked for a white potter. And then they found that he'd write little poems on the inside of all of these pots that he made. Yeah.
I want to read this story.
Well, but I'm very interested in like sort of how, first of all, why, of course, the need to be so afraid of Black people and literature.
Well, you know what that is? That's that Black swagger.
The Black swagger.
This is what I mean by that. Look, I'm a self-proclaimed nerd, and I've always loved to read. I can't really dance that well. I'm very interior, even though I can be external when I need to be external. And there was a point in my life early, even though I grew up listening to rap music. I grew up with Tribe Called Quest, Outkast, Wu-Tang, you name them, right? Sometimes I see brothers be like, man, y'all being too much. Like you got like all the jewelry, all the chains and the hats and the clothes. But then as I got more mature, I kind of went, no, this is who we have always been. We got to show out because there's so much pressure trying to keep us in a box, keep us contained.
Yes.
And so when I see that, I'm thinking there's a connection. This dude is like, they're saying, I shouldn't know how to read.
Right.
I shouldn't know how to write. I shouldn't be able to teach somebody how to read and write. I'm going to go above and beyond the call of duty, make amazing poetry, and then put it on the inside of pots where they can't even see it to protect myself. And so when I feel like a brother now or a sister with like, that whole rapper look, I'm like,
Think
I
about
say,
that, huh?
I know why you're doing that. I totally get that. And I remember one time being on this is one of my like core memories. I was on a bus. I used to play stand-up bass in the orchestra. And we were on a bus going to Mississippi for a competition at the University of Mississippi in Hattiesburg. And so I'll never forget, one of my friends had this little white dude. His name was John Ibear, I think was his name. Troublemaker. He used to cause so many problems in the orchestra. He had an Ice Cube tape, like an actual cassette of Ice Cube. And the cover is very famous. It's like him, his wife, and like this other lady. And they're like standing like that. But on the back of the cover, behind their backs is guns, right? And so we're talking about the album. We listening to it. We like rapping, having a good time. And one of the other guys in the bus, we were like probably 12, 13 years old. He's like, I can't stand rap music because rappers think they're too much. And I'm like, what do you mean by it? He's like, it's not really music. I'm like, what is really music? He's like, well, the Beatles is really music, and the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones. I'm like, where do you think the Beatles learn how to play music from? Listen to blues, listen to gospel, listen to all those guys and ladies doing their thing back in the day. And he was kind of like, whatever. But it's always there. And it's like a pride and a joy in that understanding of we can't be erased. We're just going to keep doing our thing.
Nope, we cannot. Yes.
They could try.
Yes, if you was self-adornment too. I think about that a lot too. Yes, it is important, especially when people are treated like they're invisible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think about that a lot as well.
Now you're a world traveler. Like you've been like everywhere. I mean, you've been here, there, Germany.
I've been here and there. I haven't been everywhere.
What's your favorite like city?
Oh,
What?
I'm like a cliche. I don't know. And
Is
I
it
have
Paris?
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
Paris.
okay.
That's where I want to go back. I'll put it that way. I
Okay.
had a really nice time when
Paris
I was
is
there.
beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Paris is beautiful.
It is.
What do you love about it so much?
I don't know.
It's indelible. It's what's the proper word? We write inchoate. Ephemeral. What's the word?
That's a lovely word. Yeah, no, I don't know. I just really enjoyed being there. It felt really nice to be there. And it is a very diverse city. It's very interesting. And there's actually, because I was there in October or November, there was a lot of talk of Baldwin.
Oh yeah.
Because there's all these people were just that might have affected my experience because I seem to be hearing a lot about Baldwin.
I mean, they really embraced him. He had a community there.
Yeah, but it's the centennial. There's all this. They're planning all these things. So it just was a nice trip for me. It made me really want to go back.
I mean, look, that's it. Look, some places you don't want to go back to.
I know, but
I won't name them right now, but there's some places I don't want to ever see.
Okay, well, what is your favorite place that you've been to?
I mean,
besides New Orleans.
I mean, Paris is a good choice.
It's good. It's also the most recent, so that might be why I'm saying
Recency
that
bias.
Huh?
Recency bias.
Yeah, I wasn't ready to leave when I left.
But you know what I really love about Paris in particular? We live in a society, as kids say, people who make buildings nowadays go for this sort of cookie cutter approach in the most boring style of architecture possible. And to me, Paris is proof that if you make things beautiful, it's going to attract people to that place for eternity. I mean, I think they have like the highest number of visitors per year
I'm sure
in the world.
Yeah.
And the idea that people are trying to look for beauty.
Yeah.
You can't really explain beauty.
Right.
But you know what it is when you see it.
You definitely do. You can feel it.
I think I've been there once or twice. It's been a while since I've been there. But I love the beauty of the place.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a place you really want to go that you've never been like in your whole life?
Well, there's a lot of places I would love to. I have not been everywhere. There's tons of places I would love to.
Is it like Montreal?
No.
Moscow?
No. I want to go back to Africa.
Okay. All right. What part have you been to before?
I have been to Senegal.
You have been to Senegal?
Once. I've been to Senegal. My brother used to work there. He works for
USAID.
Okay.
He's the lawyer for that region. So
I always think that they're just like spies.
I know. No, he's definitely
This
not a
is-
spy. He's not a
That's
spy.
what he told you. He's not a spy.
No, I don't think he's a spy.
I'm just like, yo.
But it was funny because I think he thought I wanted to come like for brief visits. He said, "How long you stay?" I said, "I'd like to stay for 3 months. I'm gonna need some time to, I didn't stay for an. No, I didn't stay for an entire.
Well, like a month, 2 months.
2 months. And my kids went with me too.
Oh my goodness.
Joaquin and Issa went with me. The
What?
older ones. Yeah, it was a while ago.
So this was like 10 years ago, maybe.
Get longer than that. Maybe 12.
So they were small.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you want to go back to Senegal?
I'd love to go back to Senegal.
Was it Dakar?
Yeah. And I want to go to South Africa too. I mean, right
too.
Now there are lots
too.
of places I want to
Me
go,
too.
but I at this moment would really like to go.
Let me tell you how dumb I am. So I went to Senegal last summer, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And I remember getting there, and we had like wonderful hosts, with the program who were like bringing us around town and stuff. And I'm like, we went to like an art gallery, went to a place where this woman who was like a fashion designer, she made her own like the embroidery that goes on furniture, like the actual fabric, right?
Yeah.
And so I saw that, and I'm like, so these restaurants, I kept going into places over and over again and being like an older like Black grandmother.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
it's so nice in here, and it's Black owned. And I'm like, wait, bro, the country's 99% Black. Of course, it's Black owned. But like for the first 10 days of a 30-day trip, I just kept going, oh, it's Black owned too, and I couldn't stop that. And it shows you like how the mentality is sort of a part of your being,
Right.
And
It's nice to see that. It's nice to be in a
so
place
nice
like
to see
that.
that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, they were so happy, I kept asking questions about like, just like, how does it feel to be from there and to live there? And it was like a decompression of the spirit. I remember like being out midnight, just seeing people like just walking back and forth in the streets, like a mother with like a kid on her back, just like walking down at 12, 10 at night. I'm like, I mean, we good in New Orleans, but we ain't quite like that in New Orleans. Just everybody out.
And you were there really recently, weren't you?
I was there last August.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did not want to leave.
Yeah.
I got to sort of force myself to kind of go, you got to get back where you got some business to attend to back at home, like finishing your book and that kind of stuff. But I encourage everybody from the diaspora to go to as many of those countries as possible. I did get to Kenya, South Africa, even like Northern Africa. I want to get to all of the places.
I do too.
And see what's happening.
I do too. One day. I have not been everywhere.
So
there you go.
Do you have like a favorite food? Like something you just love to eat?
You know what? I have tons of allergies.
Okay.
And you probably did not know about me.
A least favorite food. Like, what do you hate?
I'm allergic to everything. I can't
goodness.
I can't eat dairy and I can't eat wheat and peanuts and
That's your whole life?
allergies.
Yeah.
No, it probably affects my relationship to food.
What is your favorite food?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Is it really?
Actually, I mean, okay, like really,
You
like
live in New Orleans and your favorite food is peanut butter and jelly?
I'm just, you know what it is. Like, my favorite food is New Orleans cuisine, which is like its own little universe.
With peanut butter and jelly.
And my actual favorite food. So my wife makes this dish. It's just stewed pork chops. Like my dad would make that back in the day, and she would like do like some cream corn with it, and maybe like some spinach to go with that. I love that. That's my favorite dish together.
Yes.
But like for myself,
Like comfort food.
it's like little peanut butter, like on some wheat.
Yeah.
Some
I
whole milk.
remember that. I remember.
It's so simple.
Yes.
Because sometimes I got to cook myself, so I do the peanut butter jelly thing.
I remember peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I enjoyed them as well. So I can't eat them anymore.
All right, here's a different take on it. What's your favorite thing to cook for your kids?
Oh gosh. Okay, well here you go. It's like they really like pesto, like vegan pesto, and
Now that's very
with
unusual.
all this nutritional yeast instead of cheese and all this stuff.
Did you brainwash the kids into liking
I
nutritional
think
yeast
so.
on pesto?
I think so, and they're really into steamed broccoli.
Well, I've seen your kids. They seem
Weird.
very healthy appearance-wise. So you did something right.
Well, they like that stuff though, and I know a lot of kids don't, but they really like steamed vegetables, and they really like because I know like pesto isn't it's fine, but I can't eat cheese.
Oh
So-
no cheese either.
No, but it has nutritional yeast in it, and they love it. They love it. It's weird to me how much they like, because I'm not a good cook. I don't cook that much.
Well, I mean,
And that I make for them.
you had your hands full.
I did have my hands full. Yeah.
Try something a little bit different. I'm just gonna like pick a random phrase from the back of one of these books, and we're gonna like
Okay.
ask a question based on.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. This is a wonderful book by Eddie Glaude.
Yes.
And again, we got 12 Gates to the City by Daniel Black. I saw that brother about 2 hours ago. Gave him a hug.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I think I saw him as well.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I think I saw him as well.
What else we got?
All right.
We got a lot of Eddie up here today. What's
A
up?
lot of Eddie.
A lot of Eddie in the house.
And what are your, is that what these books are here? Do you have a question from or about these books? Or
I'm gonna go to the back of this other Eddie book.
okay.
We are the leaders we have been looking for.
Okay.
Are we the leaders we've been looking for?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I can't really tell. I hope so. Maybe not.
I have no idea.
It's possible.
Yes. Maybe one day.
Do you go to Mardi Gras parades?
I do. I did not this year.
I didn't either.
Okay.
I take years off.
Do you take years off?
You have to.
You probably do.
It keeps the love fresh.
There you go.
You know, you
That's
get burned
right.
out sometimes.
That's right. That's right. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's quite true. It's quite true.
Are you writing your next book right now?
I'm writing my next book right now.
I'm very excited about it.
And you've already written your next book, haven't you?
I mean, I wrote drafts.
So-
How that is.
Yeah.
I mean, is it done? Who knows? I have no idea whether it's done.
That's awesome.
I can just like,
Look at you. You do publish a book every year.
I mean, I'm trying to keep pace with you a little bit. You know, you just, no, I'm kidding.
That's awesome. And I look forward to reading it as well.
I've been wanting to ask
Something
you
to
this.
be excited about.
Well, I mean, the thing is like, you know, what else are we going to do with ourselves if we're not
Exactly.
writing books?
I literally don't know what else I would be doing.
Do you like writing?
I do. I'm obsessive about it.
Okay, when you're sitting there writing, how do you feel?
It depends on how the writing is going.
Okay.
So sometimes I don't feel good, and
Okay.
sometimes I feel like, wow, it's true. Like that's on the panel today. Someone's
yeah.
saying that. It depends.
Well, when you're in the wild moments, what's that like for you?
It's rough.
Yeah?
Yeah. Sometimes it's rough. Oh, in the wow.
In the wow, like- like in
the
the-
wow is
in-
awesome.
in the plus
Because
moments.
Yeah. It's just those are nice. Those are really nice. So
It's like mania almost. I feel a little
Yeah.
insane. Like, I feel too powerful.
well, because it's like you figured something out.
You figure something out.
Something that's been going on inside of you. A lot of times I'll write things and then it'll be like a very long time later.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I know what that meant.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know why I was doing that. It'll take me a while to get there.
When you're writing a book, like, I was thinking about this today before I came out here. I was thinking, all right, do you know what the theme of your work is when you're writing it? Do you look back years later and go, oh,
That's just more like that.
yeah.
I think I know what the question is.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I want to write about this, or this is something I'm interested in, or I gotta write about that.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. No, I don't really know what the theme is
Yeah.
until I've written it. Do you know?
Are you the kind of writer who loves, like, if somebody just would ask you it just hanging out, like, what's your next book about? Do you like talking about it when you write? Do you like to keep it in the box? until
Yeah,
you-
no, I have learned a lesson from that, and I'm
Really?
not gonna talk.
Somebody
about
jack
it
you up?
anymore. No, no one jacked me up. It's not that. It's me. You're talking about getting in the way of yourself. I feel like I talked too much
Oh,
about
really?
something I wanted to do, and I kind of rationalized it so it would make sense to other people,
Oh.
and that actually was not very helpful
I see.
to me
I see.
in terms of like trying to be free to figure it out.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean by that. Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
Are you like to talk?
I really do.
It helps you,
Because what I realize is in the early part, I don't know what to write.
right?
I'm like, I got
Right.
these characters,
Yeah,
and doing
yeah,
some
yeah.
things in the place. And
Yeah.
then over time, as I talk, it begins to make more sense.
Right. That's
And-
nice. That's nice.
And also, what happens is, let's say at the midpoint of like the book being written, I'll see something I was like, that's pretty smart what I just said. That actually makes perfect sense. And I'll realize that the finished product is not even that. It's changed so much.
Right.
Like the thing I'm writing right now, the one I sold recently, I think it's about the experience that I saw in my life between 2016, so like the beginning of the 45 president era,
Yes.
you know, until about 2021, 22, you know, pandemic, where I saw around the country all these groups of people, like say universities, like English departments, or like organizations, or like writing groups, just kind of blow up, like explode. Like the internal pressure of people fighting amongst themselves destroy these different groups all over the place.
Interesting.
And it's like 5 times in my life I saw it. Like it's a sort of internal, external viewer, and the fallout from those situations.
An implosion,
An
like them
implosion.
falling apart. That's interesting.
Where people came together on purpose for a mission and for a goal, but because of like passion and politics, and they couldn't resolve things and work it out, it imploded. And so I'm thinking that what I'm writing is a comment about that.
Sure.
And what does that do to a person, into an organization, into a community, and then how does it play out over a long period of time?
Is that related to the 45th, whatever?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. And what do you think happened?
Well, I mean, look,
Is it the pandemic in particular, or
no,
it's
it's everything.
okay?
My take on him, like, I'm the kind of nerd, again, I was self-proclaimed nerd. I was the kind of kid who would leave my high school, down 35, in 1993, go home on the bus, get home, Mom make me like a salad. She give me a salad to eat my little salad. And then like,
peanut butter and jelly.
well, maybe if she wasn't around, she probably working sometimes, right? I turn on the TV, put on C-SPAN, and watch politicians just talk about like bills being passed.
Interesting.
Like a lot of like white guys named Trent, like wearing, red striped ties, right? So I love watching politics. But I noticed that with, the 2016 era forward, it all changed. And in my mind, this is like my big hot take on the era, is that president was like Loki from the Marvel movies. He's this chaos agent who comes in. He said all these things, but really he doesn't mean anything.
No.
He's just here like to mess things up. And I think a lot of his supporters really like that about him. Whereas like a lot of people on sort of our side of the equation making some presumptions is like, this is a disaster. We spent the last 200 years building this edifice to freedom and equality and equity and language and inclusion. And then he was just ripping it all apart. And so I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about how the chaos affected everybody on both sides of the sort of equation, and how, in a lot of ways, his people were more cohesive, and our people were just fighting constantly.
I've heard that.
You know?
I've heard people say that in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and maybe it's true, maybe not. But I do want to think about that. And it's not going to be, when I write the book, it's not going to be about like that guy is the character. I don't care about him.
Right.
I care about us and our own internal divisions and how things work out. And even the idea of like Bayard Rustin, who was so important to the movement, who because of the internal politics was just suppressed for, 60 plus years or whatever like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's very interesting. I heard it as an agent of chaos. I think the chaos for me, I think, has always kind of been there.
Absolutely.
So, but no, I know what you mean.
Well, like Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
Exactly. Going to Philadelphia, Mississippi, like in '84 for his campaign kickoff for his second campaign, and use like these code words.
Yes, a lot of code words.
But that's like the chaos that's underneath the surface.
Yeah.
And now the chaos is like it's the text, not the subtext.
So it should be dealt with now. We can see it,
We can
name
see
it, and we should deal with it. Yes. Yeah. I think that's yes. It's a chaotic country. Been a chaotic country for a long time.
So would you ever run for president?
No.
Why not?
I don't have a
You don't want to save
platform. I don't have, as a president, no.
I thought it was black women's job to save everybody. you haven't heard this?
No, that might I can vote for a black woman.
I would too.
But no, I don't think this black woman should be president of the United States. So no.
You don't want like just Star Wars all over the world?
No. And I'm not a politician. I'm definitely not a politician. So
if I had my way, we would randomly elect people in politics.
do you think so? Just assign them? Like
Just assign them. And actually, I think really what I want to see is just the rule would be only grandmothers.
That is very interesting.
Just the council of grandmothers.
There you go. That's very interesting.
All the Congress, all of the Supreme Court is all grandmothers.
I don't know if it would do much for us. Though.
I mean, it couldn't be that bad compared to what we have.
Would you run for politics? Is that something you're interested in?
When I was younger and dumber, I was going to.
Yeah.
Like when I was a lawyer in the early days, people were like, literally like, hey, we're going to put some money behind you to run for city council and run state rep. And then I grew up. And I realized that unfortunately, the way things were going, I couldn't do as much good.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, be a politician, try and get some laws passed. But then you see how things are now where nothing really happens anymore in politics versus tell some stories about my community.
Would you have, is it something you would think about though?
Not anymore.
No. Okay.
Maybe I'm lying.
Okay.
But not anymore. I just don't want to do it. I mean, I just feel like each of us has a lane in this world that we can do good, you know?
Yeah.
I think we're doing it.
I hope so. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not running for president. That's definitely not my lane. So.
Well, for what it's worth, I think you've done a great job.
Well, thank you.
I mean, in life.
Thank you so much.
Like with the kids and the books.
I appreciate
and your presence. Whenever I see you like on the stage, like in the audience, I'm like, that's Ladee over
there. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. The feeling is mutual, Maurice. Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question for wrap up.
Uh-oh.
I never asked this. Like your name.
Oh.
Where'd it come from?
It's apocryphal. I don't know because my family is so crazy.
Yours too? My name is also apocryphal.
Supposedly that's my great grandmother's name was Ladee.
Ladee.
And my mom, it's on my father's side. His family's from here. My father's family's from here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or my father's father. I don't know if it's true or not. My mom always adds in the part where clearly the woman couldn't read.
Oh, no, I think it's a great name.
It's misspelled. I inherited her spelling.
But your name makes people smile, Ladee.
That's nice. You
right?
were making the
like
sound
physically,
of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
My name is also apocryphal.
Is it?
My mom is like, you ever saw that Dark Knight movie? the Christopher Nolan.
Yes.
Remember that? Remember Heath Ledger's the Joker?
Yeah.
And they kept asking him like how he got the scars in his face. He
Mm-hmm.
kept changing his story about how the scars came about. So my mama, when I was a kid, I'm like, Mom, why my Maurice call us Ruffin? And she would tell me a story. Then after 10 years later, new story. 10 years later, another story.
Yeah.
And so one story was there was a local mobster named Carlos Marcellus, who was based in New Orleans. And
Oh.
he's like out of anesthesia after, whatever, C-section. And they're like, what's his name? Carlos, no, Maurice, that kind of thing, right? Then I asked her again. She's like, no. I never said that. Like, Mom, I was 10 years old. So where does it come from? I actually don't really know.
Mm.
I don't really know.
It's a nice name.
I like
She's
it.
like saying it. Maybe it's just, that's what she likes saying it.
It's 6 syllables. Maurice, Carlos.
It's a nice
Ruffin.
name. It's a very nice name.
Kind of rolls.
Yeah, I like Carlos. Carlos is a nice name as well.
Well, on that note, I think we did our job.
Okay.
High
All
five.
right. High five.
Hey!
Yeah, I kept talking. We kept talking.
That wasn't so bad, right?
No, it's very nice talking to you, Maurice.